Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Roos. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there. And do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony.
Hey, man.
There you go.
Hey, how you doing?
Not bad, not bad.
Awesome. Good to hear it.
All right, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
I'm in a very dark tour bus traveling through
Oh, that's fine.
Latvia.
We'll
So,
we'll 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 talk. That's great. Now,
yeah,
Latvia. That sounds nice.
yeah,
Cold.
it's just probably. It's just traveling. We're in a tour bus on our way to Helsinki or to Tallinn, actually.
Oh,
It's
fantastic.
one of those days. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you're coming over to Australia in a few weeks to tour a quick brief visit, aren't you, with Dark Tranquility? Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Yes.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah, 26th, 27th, 28th of Feb. So not that far away.
Yeah. No,
No. It's been some time since you've been here, isn't it?
almost 10 years.
Yeah,
It's
2014.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not happy about this at all, but it's just it's been difficult for us. I think just yeah, it's kind of hard to get together like a tour proper of competition, and we have to kind of string it together with tons of other shows to make it kind of financially viable. So, and that's been the reason. And also, last time we were there, we got kind of ripped off their promoter, and it kind of left some
Oh.
sour taste. Like even though the shows were awesome, the fans were fantastic, it was still one of those things that kind of caused us to not kind of rush back into it.
Oh, that's at least a sour taste for us as because us,
Yeah,
fans of your wonderful music. We don't see that. We don't hear about that. And and
yeah,
it's not fair, like not fair for you. It's not fair for anyone, really, to be honest. It's a shame that this stuff happens in the
yeah.
world. But this time around, hopefully you're gonna get a much more pleasant experience. It's a
Oh
quite
yeah, I'm
sharp.
sure of that.
Oh yeah, you will. I mean, it's selling really well. I mean, you got this
Mm.
off the back of the new album, which is a killer of an album.
Oh,
By the
thank
way,
you.
yeah, really. I mean, you've been going around for such a long time now. I mean, you're one of the sort of
Yeah.
godfathers of the of the Gothenburg scene. Are you not?
No,
Without sounding to make you
no,
sound old, you know what I mean?
no. We've
Yeah.
been pretty old. That's right.
Oh, yeah, we're all a bit old, aren't we? But yeah. I, it must be interesting if you've got to play because the fan base here love your stuff, and to get it all into one set alone is hard, but doing it on 3 days, to try
Yeah,
and yeah, it must be a real sort of a logistical nightmare because I mean, 12 albums, was it 13 albums? Sorry, um,
30. Yeah,
13 albums. I mean, that's a lot of material of which to mine for a show. It can't be the easiest of things to sit down and work out.
it's always a bit of a nightmare, trying to figure out like what works and what doesn't. Like how far deep into the catalog do we dig? Do we only do the songs that people expect, or should we surprise people or surprise ourselves? And
Yeah, yeah.
we've been pretty good lately, actually. On the last kind of US and European runs we've done, we managed to switch it up almost every night in order to make it interesting and to try out different songs and see what works and what feels right and what we can pull off properly. And I think we have a lot to choose from, and we've been sending set lists to each other back and forth in the last couple of weeks, just for these shows in Australia specifically. And I think we've landed on something that I think most people will be happy with. But it's always a hard thing. Like, how much new stuff do we play? Should it be only?
Hmm.
It's absolute nightmare.
It is
Always.
hard. It's harder because you don't come here that often. If you were like in Europe, where people see you, or in the USA, it's you see you more often. You
True.
you can
Yeah.
mix that. The audience is happy that maybe they're not you don't play something from the first two albums or whatever because they really wanted to see you in general.
Yeah.
When it's a distance traveled and it's a long time between drinks, it can be a bit more harder, I can imagine, you know.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah,
So we kind of adapted it just, quite a bit actually. So,
yeah.
let's see. I'm curious. I'm gonna have a meeting together with the guys today, and we're gonna uh, finalize most things.
Brilliant. I mean, I mean, you're a very prolific band. I mean, you don't spend much time in between albums. You know, like you're not doing like every album every 6 years. I mean, it's every 2 or 3 years on average that you're putting an album
Yeah,
out.
maybe 3 or 4, but yeah, it's like that. We tour for a year and a half, and we usually spend a year writing and producing. So yeah, it's something like that. I mean, it's that cycle. It's hard to kind of get away from. We're something that we're so used to.
I like it.
Um,
I
and
love
it
it.
and it's hard to stand still. You're like, oh, what are we gonna do now? Should we do another tour? Yeah, okay. If we're not feeling creative enough, then we just keep going, keep touring,
Yeah, I
keep doing
mean,
festivals and whatever.
well, that's right. And you've also got side projects that you would be doing that you do. So,
Mm,
you know, it's not
yeah,
musicians don't stand on their laurels these days. I mean, there's always something creative to be doing and something creative to be
yeah, for
then
sure.
promoting and pushing and selling. And it's yeah, I'd love to I'd love to live the rock and roll lifestyle, but I don't think I could cope with the amount of effort you guys have to deal with. It's a lot of work, you know.
It's crazy. Like I think this year is going to be my most kind of a busy year I've ever had, actually, which is maybe a good thing, but at the same time, it's strange when you're like away from home more than almost like 200 days this year.
Oh, that's tough. That is tough. I
Yeah,
mean, you have to have very supportive family for things like that, you know.
well,
Um,
I do. I'm very
yeah,
thankful of that.
yeah, that's what makes it good, isn't it? Because you can go away knowing that this is your
Yeah,
this is you, this is your life, this is the direction the God that gave you.
it
You know,
is.
this is your thing. So you're
Yeah,
gonna enjoy it while you can, right? I
oh,
want
for sure.
to. I was just while I've got you, listening to the new album, which I really love, by the way.
Thank
Which is the it's called the last Endgame. It's no, sorry, Endgame Signals. Sorry. Um, and so I wrote I can't read my own handwriting. I'm terrible. It's fucking
you.
terrible. Scribble something down and but there's one particular track on it that yeah, I think you know one I'm going to talk about, but really I felt it really hit me in the chest to listen to, and I don't know if you're going to do it live because I think it would be such an emotional drain. But that's one of us is gone. It must be a tricky one. Do you play that live?
We have not yet.
Yeah.
I would love to do it. Um, we're not really. I don't know if we're ready for it, and also like we haven't even kind of discussed it. But it was without a doubt the hardest song to write for this album. And it was something that we felt was also inevitable. Like we needed to do it, but we pushed it further and further and further away from us because we didn't want to deal with it. It was
Mm,
too heavy a burden, and but it affected like how we wrote the entire album in many ways because we knew that eventually we will come to this that we
mm,
have to write. And the
mm.
reason for that is that we were a guitar player who played from the gallery and the Brightside projector, Fredrik Johansson, passed away 2 years ago, and
Yeah.
he gave us a lot of music that he worked on while he was struggling with cancer, and said, "Use this if you like, would be great, but if not, it's fine. This is just what I'm working on right now." And it was such great stuff, and we wanted to kind of honor his memory by writing a song based on his music. And it ended up being a song about him and his struggle and the way that we dealt with it as well. So it was really difficult, but it's something that felt eventually really good when we finished it, and we could kind of somehow was a part of the process of a kind of grief and loss and kind of some um, I wouldn't say closure, but at least some the path to closure, maybe, or
A
to
catharsis. Yeah,
at least kind of give thanks to his contribution as well to
yeah.
all the years that he wrote fantastic stuff.
Because it's a real
So it was
standout now.
difficult for sure.
Yeah, it's a real standout.
Yeah.
Every minute of it, every beat of it. Even if you didn't know the story behind Frederick's uh, sort of sad story, it, it it comes out in every note. Like there's a real sense of
Uh,
love, joy. Even though it's really sad, of course, it's very, very sad. Anyone that loses friends or family will understand the pain. But if it, and the reason I say it's because I lost a family member only recently, and playing it really, really sort of, I don't know, it's just one of those beautiful moments. And I reckon live, I don't, there'll be a dry eye in the house, you know. If it hit, it will hit, you know, live that one. It's a beautiful song, and it's so just, you know, it's a lovely tribute to him. Obviously, it's quite a quick whirlwind visit through to our shores. Where do you go on from here?
Go to Thailand, South Korea, Hong Kong,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
then we go home. Yeah, it's
So,
gonna be great. And then for a few days we'll be home in Sweden again, and then we start the second leg of the European tour. So yeah, I'll be home by end of May.
gosh, I suppose when you're doing the European tour, no country's too far away from each other, is it really? It's just lots of
Sure.
countries all compacted together. I suppose it's
Yeah,
not as long a journey as coming to this end of the world, which is such a
no,
long
for
way.
sure.
But
Yeah.
you're playing here, you're playing Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. So
Yes.
that's going to be great because you know the weather here is gorgeous this time of year, as you would know because you've been here before. It's lovely and
I
warm.
have.
Yeah, the
I'm looking
fans will
very
love
much
it.
forward to that. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Spending with, although being from Sweden, I'm probably used to the cold a bit, but
I
it's nice
am
to get
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. But it's nice to get
Uh,
some of that heat on your
uh,
skin. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh,
Uh,
some sunshine. I need that. I've been to in the Eastern Europe now for a week, and it's cold. It's pretty gray. It's very not welcoming at all.
oh
Somewhere
yeah,
in now, and it's absolutely freezing.
yeah. And you're tour busing it, which wouldn't be. It's not. I mean, even though the nicest tour buses in the world, I'm sure it could be very tiring. You're not going to sleep as
Yeah,
well as you would, and
it's true. But I've been on the road for a month now, so we're going in a few days.
you've got into your rhythm. Yeah, you've got into your rhythm of
Yeah,
it, right? Yeah,
repack my bags.
yeah. Living out of a bag for 200 days. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, I'd go mad. But oh dear, dear, dear. So,
Life I chose.
yeah, well, well, and we love you for it, Mike, because
Uh,
the music you give the world such fantastic music. I mean, you've been through. I mean, you and your band have been through so many ups and downs in the the music industry, and
yeah,
you survived, mate, because you make great music. A
yeah.
lot of people who were not that great didn't survive. I mean, you know,
Uh,
that whole sort of digitization of music era, the downloads, the physical media stop selling and reselling. It's all crazy.
it's and I think what got us through it and what has gotten us through it is always that we really love writing and creating something together. So and that comes from free. That's just inspiration and creativity and kind of the joy of creating something. Um, and then of course eventually we had the luxury of having people who want to hear our music, and that's meant we get to travel the world.
It's wonderful,
Sure,
isn't it?
it is because obviously, I mean, it can be very tiring traveling and being in a new city every day and all that. But the reward is that you get to perform your music in front of a crowd who gets it, with whom you can communicate and express what you feel and then have them understand it. It's no greater feeling, so it makes it all worth it. So, despite the ups and downs of the industry and all the hurdles you have to kind of jump over and all the hoops you have to jump through in order to get this going, it's still worth it in the end, you know. And sometimes it's not even it's not a financial thing at all. It's just like it's just for the hell of it because
Oh
it's so
yeah.
much fun and so rewarding, you know. And
And you
talking to fans and meeting people, you know, from all over the world who respond to what you're. It's,
it's wonderful. I mean, it is. I mean, and you know, each album is always slightly different with you guys. You know, you're not nothing is, you don't I if I listen to your first album and then listen to this one, there is DNA of your music in there, of course.
sure.
But there was such growth in it and such, you're finding different sounds, different things every time. And I think that's also important, creativity wise, not just repeat, oh, that did well, repeat that again, It,
No, been very important for us from day one. Like, so
mm,
that it just, yeah, we don't repeat ourselves. If it's something is similar to what we've done before, then it's already done. So that was something that we always kind of would laugh at it, but then we took it seriously, and then now it's just, I think, just the way that we the way we it has to feel new, otherwise there's absolutely no point to do it.
well, you'd get so bored, wouldn't you? I mean, if you played the
Yeah.
same thing over and over again for 13 albums, my Lord, it would be it
I
would
think it would
be
show as well, like,
yeah,
it
it
would
would.
you would feel it, and you would kind of lose interest, and you wouldn't be proud of it anymore, and it would just go. It would feel not genuine, Or,
Yeah, particularly live, and we've all been to bands where they just phoned it in, and you're
yeah,
standing there and you're going, well, okay, that was well, that was
just
awful,
another day
Uh, yes,
at the office, Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Of
we've all been
course,
to
there
those.
are days, yeah, and then of course I've had feelings like that every once in a while, but that's only for minutes, and then it goes away, and you realize you actually kind of think, say to yourself, like, hey, you better enjoy this. This is really
Yeah,
damn special and awesome. And
yeah,
you do. Sometimes you can forget it, but most of the time, it's a rare treat that we get to do this still.
it is. And you know what? I've not met a Swedish person who wasn't upbeat. And I don't know if that's me.
Okay.
Me stereotyping.
Uh,
But you know what I mean? Like it's joyous. You bring that across in your music, even though it's heavy music. You bring joy to your music. You know? So I love it.
well, I don't know. I guess you need kind of like an upbeat, at least a positive outlook on life because
You
it's
do.
it's pretty cold and dark up here. But so you have to focus on something else.
Oh, it's a beautiful country. I love it. As a
Yeah.
visitor, obviously as a tourist, it's a
Yeah.
fantastic place to be. I wouldn't know about living there 24/7, but certainly
Wouldn't trade it
as
for anything else, so I'm happy.
oh, that's exactly right. That's what you've got to be, right? And it comes across in the music. Comes across in your passion. All of you, not just you, I mean your whole band. I mean, it's incredibly talented band that has not stood still, has not become stereotyped, and I think that is the key to success, mate. You know, you'd not become, oh, just that band, they do this sound.
Yeah, we try.
Mm. And I think that's it's kudos to you, really, because the production on
I mean,
yeah,
it's a fine line to walk, production.
because after 13 years, the 13 albums could easily be that. Could
Yeah,
easily go, oh, look, just this one worked really well. What do we do? Okay, let's just redo that, and we sample some of that and sample that into there, and
yeah. No, I mean, I think the way we view it, because and especially with this latest album, like there was some lineup changes and some kind of like new creative input into the band, and we realized like, okay, this is our 13th album to prove ourselves and to the people listening to us that we are still kind of relevant and we have something to say. I think it was more crystallized than ever, and I think normally there's a lot of different opinions and a different kind of like ideas of what an album should be and where we should go musically. Eventually, we get to a point together, through trial and error and a lot of
Yeah.
kind of creative conflict, so to speak. Whereas this one is just it's from Johan Reynolds and I together, kind of going, okay, what do we want to say this time? How do we tell it the way that makes it important to us? And how do we make sure that we retain our sound, but make something more of it? And it took a good year and a half or something like that to get there, but it was, and it was not easy by any stretch. You know, it just keeps getting more and more difficult with every year, because you have to somewhat take into account, you know, the 12 albums that came before it, and try to do something else. But at the same time, that's the reward, you know, knowing that you, at least, you know, in our minds, when we listen to the mix, you know, when we're sitting there, when everything is kind of feature complete, so to speak, and you feel like, well, yeah, this is exactly what we want to do this time.
Brilliant.
And that's the greatest feelings in the world.
Yeah, because I mean, it is a beautifully produced album. It's really gorgeous
Thank you.
production. Yeah, you know, nothing that I wouldn't expect from you guys, to be frank. I mean, your production is always up there, even from the early days. Was, you know, production was one of those
Yeah, no,
members of the
it's
band.
something very, it's very, yeah, no, but it's something that we take very seriously, and Martin owns the studio, so we always record there, and then the last couple of albums we use Jens Bogen at Fascination Street at the Notable for mixing and mastering, and he's knows us so well. He understands exactly what it
Yeah,
should sound like, and I think he has really leveled up as well and become even better than, you know, he was when we kind of approached him a couple of years ago. I think, and he really gets it, and we produce more with him to get in unison with him than before. And yeah, I love how it sounds. Really do.
yeah. It's one of my favorites of the last three or four. It certainly is. It comes across
Cool.
very
Thank you.
genuine. No, I mean that. And of course, and I've talked about it before, but I say one of us has gone is just. I know I don't want to keep on about it, but that moment. Thank you very much from me, from the bottom of my heart. Honestly, I've
Oh,
from someone who's been grieving recently. This is something that it was
oh.
joyous. It was not a negative thing. It just it almost
No, it
opened that.
shouldn't be like.
No, it helped to
Yeah,
sort of burst that little soap bubble. You know, just needed to
yeah.
break it, and it was just beautiful. Yeah,
Oh,
really, thank you very much for that. I wanted to
thanks.
say that to you, whether it was off air or on air. Thank you very much. It really,
That's, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
yeah, it was. It's not easy to do things like that in our field, in our musical genres. It's not easy.
Um, it's true. Like, and
Yeah,
maybe it's something that we always strive for, you know, throughout the years. Like, I will kind of show that metal can be vulnerable, you know, or it can expose other feelings than just, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
aggression, brutality, and anger, and
yeah.
that's
And
always
I
been
think, yeah.
our goal to do more than that.
Yeah, and you do that, and that, you know, of all the bands that you came out through, you know, if you think about In Flames, At the Gates, you know,
Yeah,
you think about Haunted, all those sort of bands, you definitely had a different take on it, I
yeah, and
think.
then that was the idea for all those bands as well. Like try to be as different from each other as possible, but also kind of like have sharing the same um well musical DNA and background and upbringing and all that, because we grew up, you know, very close to each other.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
wonderful scene,
but
wonderful scene.
that was
Uh,
good old times.
Good old times, but it was, and again,
Yeah.
I was saying to someone the other day, I was privileged to see a triple header with At the Gates, The Haunted, and Witchery.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
uh and In Flames, sorry, was in there as well. It was a trip four. It was
yeah,
amazing, right? And it
yeah,
never once felt like there was any rivalry. It just felt they were all brothers. It was
yeah.
a real lovely um sensation to be there, to see everyone just chilling and having fun with each other. And that's, I think that's half of what
Yeah,
the pleasures of listening to your music, my friend, is that it
no,
comes
but
across
I think
real.
that's one of the keys to why this we still keep going as well. Like it's all about kind of that friendship that you made, 30 years ago, but it's still very strong to this day.
Yeah.
I'm here in a tour bus with my old friends from In Flames, Daniel and Peter. We're
Oh,
touring with the
wonderful.
Halo Effect right now, and Jensen from The Haunted is playing guitar. So
Oh, what a
like
fantastic.
we're
Also,
within
Halo Effect.
meters of me right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Halo Effect is so good.
Oh.
Don't say it too loudly, don't I? But
No.
I don't want to wake them up and give them an ego. Um,
Yeah.
thanks for, I know it's late, so I'll let you get on, but thank you for coming on, Chang. I hope you
Thank you.
really, really enjoy the tour. I know it's quick and fast, but I hope people get out there and get some quality metal into their ears because
Um,
it's much needed in this day and
yeah,
age, no matter
that part I
much
think
needed.
we will be able to do. It's going to be fun. I'm so looking forward.
Oh, mate, you're gonna love it. The audience here will they're just like they'll love it. They suck it up because
Oh,
they don't get enough of it, so they're just gonna go and be
sure.
right in it. So brilliant. But a safe journey.
Fantastic.
Enjoy Lithuania. I'm sure you will.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
yeah, safe flight. And
yep.
yeah, welcome to the country. Hope you
Awesome.
enjoy it.
Oh wow. Thank you so much.
No,
Cheers.
pleasure, man. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you.
Bye, mate. Bye, mate.